everyone doing today? It is Sunday afternoon. Yeah, Sunday. Sunday? Sunday. Sunday. Yeah, it's Sunday. I don't know. When you're on vacation, you stop keeping track of days. And all I know is I got one more day of not working before I got to go back to work. How's everyone doing today? Changed my OBS. Yes. I took some time. I've been meaning to do it for a while. Drop Streamlabs and move over to Stream Elements. So I tweaked a few things in OBS, but I did a bunch of stuff in Streamlabs. So now chat's different. I have notifications here for people and whatnot. I think these are just demos. Hopefully those update. I don't know. If it doesn't work, I'll just change it or disable it. And then new pop-ups and whatnot. So I have GIFs and whatnot. Custom. Yeah. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. It is 2022. Now, hopefully it's not 2022. It's 2022, but we'll see how it is. We're still washing our hands all the time, so everything's all, you know how it be. You know how it be. I disabled text-to-speech. A lot of people didn't like the text-to-speech, so I disabled it. It'll still play a little jingle, though. So, yeah, 2022. Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. I'm retired. Days don't matter. Oh, I wish. What board did I use with the Stealth Burner on the Enraged Rabbit? This is the Heart K board. So yeah, so we are carrying on the Trident. This is part 3 of the build. And we're going to go step back a little bit. So the last thing we did last week was we put the belts on. Or we skipped putting the belts on. We just put the carriage on. So now we're going to go back and put the belts on. Because it says put the belts on now, so we're going to put the belts on now. Eight months, jeez. Newest sub doesn't update. I think that is... Yeah, you would be the newest sub. Okay, so it's doing sub. I want to do members. I don't know why. That army pick. Yeah, that's back in late 2010, early 2011, I want to say. So. Yeah, you should be able to read chat better now, hopefully. So. So, we, where we left off is we put that little doodad on. We squared our gantry up, and now we are going to put the belts on. So, let me find the belts. Drop everything everywhere. Yeah. At one point, I had room. At one point, I had room in this room. Oh. It didn't play a jingle. Michael Campbell, $20. Testing super chat for you. Thank you. It works, it looks like. Although it's supposed to play a noise. I didn't hear the noise. Oh, you know why? Main overlay. I have desktop audio disabled. There we go. There we go. Have I done giveaway yet? I'm not doing a giveaway today. Yeah, there's a Sparky one, and then there's another one. Any plans on converting the Trident to a tool changer? No, I don't plan on converting it to a Jubilee. If I was gonna build a Jubilee, I'd build a Jubilee. I wouldn't build a Trident then convert it. But for those following along, Eddie the engineer has a working version of a Trident that is a IDEX. So I might do that in the future. What am I drinking? G Fuel. Because why not? Noise test 2. Okay, there we go. Oh, it does the conversion. 1127. Okay. I gotta put a background so you can nice to see it better. One second. Dashboard. What is streaming tools? My overlays. Edit. Alert box 1. Settings. Text settings. I don't know, I'll play with it all later. Nope, not that one, not that one. Cancel, whatever. I'll play with it all later. Leave. Still getting it all set up. I'm still getting it all set up. What are my thoughts on the Jubilee versus the E3D? Very simple. I don't have either. So one's a DIY option, one's a more kit option. Newest sub should be the newest, the most recent person who subscribed or became a member, I believe. I think it's just sub. Did you join those that were donating to E3D? Yes, so it's my contribution. I had just over 250,000 views. I'm rounding it up because I don't like unround numbers to 300. But the plan is I will be doing a charity stream for the foundation once they set it up. But I'm waiting until they set it up. I don't want to collect funds. I know somebody already did. They've run a charity stream for it. I feel very uncomfortable collecting funds that I personally will be holding on to until something is set up. I don't want the tax man getting a cut. I don't want anyone to, you know, because people are dicks. I don't want people accusing me of, you know, taking a cut of it because, you know, the internet does that. So I'm going to wait until they actually set up the foundation, and then we will be doing a full-on charity stream and giveaway because I have a Voron V0 kit on the floor here from Lecter. I will be building that V0 and somebody's going to win an assembled V0. Because I don't need 3 V0s, so I'm going to give one away. And hopefully we can raise a bunch of money. But I'm waiting until the foundation's actually set up to do that. Trident versus 2.4 for pseudo commercial use. I don't know. I have no problems with my V2s. I haven't run a Trident yet. On paper, they should all be just the same. Same gantry on both. The only difference is the Z. There are people that believe the lead screw Z is more reliable than a belted Z. I've got several years on my V2 that has no issues, but some people still believe that. First time watching a stream. You are great. Thank you. You are great too. What was your first printer? My very first printer was a Monoprice Select Mini. And I wish I still had it, but unfortunately, like, it had too many things go wrong on it at once, and I just kind of kiboshed it at that point. Some of the parts live on, though, in the Bonsai build. So, parts of the Bonsai, some of the motors, and something else. I can't remember what else, but there were parts I salvaged for the Bonsai build. So, for those that have belted up one of these guys before, when you belt up back here, make sure you don't run the belt over the plastic. Belt goes on bearings. You'd be surprised the amount of times people run the belts over this plastic and then in around the motor. So don't do that. Skyblock Pog. Whoever donates most money during Foundation stream get the pre-assemble. No, it's going to be a raffle. I'm not going to give it away to whoever donates the most. Unless, like, maybe if I have multiple prizes, I could do one as, like, a charity, like, auction. Andrew Osmond, $1. Thank you. But then how do you, like... Because then it would just be a running total, right? Because if somebody donated, you know, $1,000 and somebody donated 1,001, well, obviously the person who donated 1,001 is going to get it, and the person who donated 1,000 may not like that. and, you know, could request a refund or something like that. Plus, I'm not sure how, like, I'm hoping E3D, that whatever they set up is compatible with YouTube's built-in charity function, although Stream Elements has one too. I don't know. Basically, I'm trying to avoid as much liability as possible if something goes wrong, because I don't want, you know, a bunch of people giving me money and then something happening. Skyball could pog eBay. I'm not going to do that. Because the problem is with eBay, it's still, the money goes through me. I don't want to touch the money. I want the money to go directly from your pocket to whatever E3D sets up. Because if it touches me, I got to pay taxes on it. That is the problem. Plus, I'm in Canada, and I don't know what laws apply with all this, you know, from other countries and whatnot. Because I'd be collecting money in Canada from people in the US and giving it to something in England and yada yada. Just trying to make it as simple as possible. Happy New Year. What is that? Sour fruit. Yeah, I'm sorry, the camera angle kind of sucks with this. It's belting up a Core XY gantry. If you've watched my channel before, this is like the billionth time I've done it. It's always this one. Never wants to go in. Get in your hole. What are you catching? God, dang it, almost had it. There we go. And the belts on this kit are Gates belts. I think somebody already asked that. If not, probably somebody will ask that. They are Gates belts. They are pre-cut to length. Hopefully there's enough extra. Nothing is more annoying than having your belts too short. How'd you get twisted? Nope. Nope. Don't want twisted belts. Twisted belts are bad. Why would somebody do this over a 2.4? A bit cheaper. Some people just don't like the flying gantry. It's a more traditional setup. Technically, the Trident is an update over the V1 series, which was always moving bed, but now it's 3-point bed leveling. Also, if you want to do certain mods, it's a little bit easier on a fixed gantry. So, for example, the IDEX mod that Eddie the Engineer did. When your gantry doesn't move in the Z, you have a little bit more leeway when it comes to things you can do. So I don't think his setup would work at all for IDEX on a V2, or if not, it's much more complicated. Also, shorter Bowden length. So if you wanted to put like an Enraged Rabbit carrot feeder or an MMU on it, you have shorter Bowden length travel. Yeah. Downside is the Trident does not scale in the Z as much as a V2 because you are limited by integrated lead screws, which only come in certain sizes. So this is a 350 by 350 by 250, which I've got 385 millimeters of Z on Tallboy back there. I don't need more than one printer with that much Z. And even then, I never max out that guy anyways. What's the IDEX mod? Look up Eddie the Engineer on Twitter. He's on the Voron team, but he's got videos of it on his Twitter. Okay, so running the belts is based on the popular Core XY. The individual belts are stacked, blah, 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 blah. Equal belt tension is important. This is how you run the belts. I've already done that. And then they go through there. Easy peasy, lemon squeeze. So, make them equal. I think they are equal length. And it looks like they run through the front, or they run through the back. Yeah, they run through the back. Yeah, LDO makes integrated. There's a whole bunch. These ones are the fysetc ones because it's a fysetc kit. I did check them with a scale, like a ruler, and they are straight. So this is a little bit different than the traditional carriage. For those that have built like a 2.4 or a 1.8 or any of the previous Afterburner revisions, the carriage with the dual MGN 9 setup, you have little blocks that hold your belt in. On this guy, you have the carriage itself holds them in. So that is your compression right there. Let me get these screws started and then I'll tension everything up. I forgot I moved the camera up there. I'm gonna have to move that camera actually, probably. We'll get to that, but it is a Kinematic bed mount, but it's using off-the-shelf components. So it's using the, what are they called? Spherical bearings, I believe. No custom machine components or anything. Printed parts and off-the-shelf components. So, again, there is built-in tensioning. You can adjust your front idlers to tension your belts. So, what you're doing is you're just tensioning them by hand first. And then you're going to go through and basically tighten them up final using your belt. So, get them pretty snug by hand. Then lock it down, and then tweak them in so that they're final. So right now I'm just going through and making sure everything is sitting on the bearings. Because you will see a lot of times, a common issue we see is people tension their belts up, or they're trying to figure out why the gantry is sticking, and then you tell them to take a bunch of photos, and they send you a photo, and a belt's like skipped right off a bearing. So make sure everything is riding on your bearings and your 22 gears first. Is there a spam? Where's the spam? Who's spamming? I don't see spam. When rail grease video? Maybe tomorrow? I don't know. The holidays have been, like, I've been a lot of family stuff over the holidays, so I took some time off. And then when you tension your belts, a trick is to cut your belts equal length before you go ahead and install them. So that way you can make sure they're equally tensioned by basically just looking at the belts and seeing that they are, you know, equal, that you've pulled through. And then you can tweak it a little bit at the end. And also, don't cut your belts flush. Leave a little bit of extra. You want a little bit of extra belt. Because if you ever take it apart and put it back together and your belts are perfectly cut flush, you're gonna have a bad day. Trust me. Spam is from some Russian guy. I don't see any. Somebody else might have deleted it. I didn't see spam. Oh, I see. He just said Vor Red. Oh. Oh, I see. Oh, bots. Okay. Remove. Spam. Beep boop. Bye, bot. Okay. So a good trick, obviously you might have a little bit of racking issues now because you put tension on the system. Now, how much do I tension my belts? How should I get out a guitar tuner? How much should I be tensioning my belts? Me, personally, I just kind of wing it every time and I don't really have issues. Don't over tighten your belts. That's honestly one of the biggest issues with, I find, is people like to really over tension their belts. And when you over tension your belts, that's usually when you start to see the, like the teeth. You start seeing tooth marks in your prints. That is from your belts being too tight. At least that's what I've noticed. There. And we're good there. Easy way to tell if your belts are good and equally tensioned. When you move your carriage to the front and back, your X gantry to the front and back, this shouldn't move. Your X carriage should not move. If it does a little dance, something's not tuned right. Because that means it's binding up ever so slightly somewhere. Now, you might not be able to get it 100% perfect, but if, as you're moving this, if it decides to go off on like some adventure like this, something's wrong. But it should stay in the same spot as you move it front to back. Looks like a Prusa Quartz White. This is Prusament. This is Prusament Orange and Natural ASA. Did I get a G full spawn? Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. Actually, no. Code Wubby, get 30% off. Figure I'd try it. I know. I like it. Trying to quit drinking pop. Okay. Belt clamp. Belt is clamped against the rail carriage. There are no extra parts. To initially tighten the belts, leave the mounted screws lightly loose and pull your belts taut. Now we got to put the bed together. Yay! Did that one not pop up? Boris Plasma Tweeter, €5. Thank you, appreciate it. I don't know why it didn't pop up there. For the furnace guys, why likes are so low? Show some support. Yeah, make sure you like that smash button. Oop, I forgot. I gotta get rid of these. Pick the little plugs out so I can get proper motion. And it showed up on the bottom there. We heard the bing. Okay, maybe I just missed it then. And then also, take a look. Make sure your 20-tooth gears on your motors aren't rubbing on the belt. So now we're moving on to the bed. I'm gonna skip building the bed on stream. I have a video on my channel on how to build one of these beds. I'm not gonna do it on stream unless I run out of things to do on today's stream. But I'm gonna do that separately off stream because it's gonna make a mess and I'm not gonna do it on stream. So we're gonna skip putting the bed together. I have a video on my channel if you're curious on how to put the bed together. Okay, so now we need to make our C-switch. We're gonna need some printed parts. That guy. Put that there. You like that smash one, man? I wish I was Switch. You could have clipped it. I say that every time. That's like the running joke with the channel. And you can still clip on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you can clip on YouTube now. Okay, so the fancy micro switch. So it's hilarious. Back in ye olde days of V2.0, the micro switch was literally a Omron rice cooker switch. But that drifted with temp with some people. So then we went to some fancy FSR thing. And then we ended up just going to a cheapo Filippo KW10 micro switch style that works honestly within a micro step. So it's cheap and it works, which you'll see that a lot. And it goes together pretty simply. You got a printed body, you take a 22th gear, you put it in there, and that is just to keep your pins straight. You put your switch on the bottom and you mount it and you're done. And that is your tool offset. So you take a 20-tooth, you put it in the printed part. That's pretty much it. We'll line up the gears for appearance. Where is my Z and stuff? There we go. Pre-made Z endstop switch. So the wiring on this is probably going to be the most lacking part of this kit, I think. It's like semi pre-done. There's no like toolhead boards or anything. A lot of stuff just has wires extended. This doesn't. Oh, maybe it says. Oh, okay, let's see. What kind of wiring do we have here? I think it's just PT or PVC. That's okay. Now, when you put your micro switch on, you have to make sure it's offset. So you got to make sure the actual switch is underneath the yeah, they did it the right way. It's actually underneath where the pin will go. Otherwise, you're gonna have a bad time. So look down the hole and visibly confirm that. Okay, and then we need our... Now you can get all fancy and solder on a quick connect using a JST, which I've done that in the past, but this kit doesn't come with that, so I'm not going to use it because I am building this as the kit is and what the kit comes with. Now I need to find my little M3s. Or no, what are they? M2 self-tapping. Where's the M2 self-tapping? There. And they are Phillips. Where's Doggo? I can check if Doggo's outside the door. He might be, he might not. Yep. Hey. I gotta get a better tripod for this camera. Come here. How you doing? There you go. Yeah, I don't have anything for you because we gotta wean you off that. Because you shouldn't be having treats that much. And you get really annoying because you keep trying to get in here to get the treats. Okay? Okay? Kisses? Okay. Yeah, I know. There's too much stuff in here. There you go. And dog hair everywhere again. He's doing better. I was down here yesterday and he wasn't bugging for treats, so really didn't like that he picked up that habit. That goes there. And what I'm going to do is just to hold this in, depending on your print settings and how much you over extrude, this might be like a permanent push-in fit. Mine is pretty much size for size, so it's does kind of fall out a little bit. So I'm just going to put a little, never mind, because the super glue is all frozen. We're not going to put super glue. There we go. That'll work. Just a little something, something to hold it in there. And then there should be a pin. Where would that pin be? And it should be a 5mm pin. Now, how long this pin needs to be depends a lot on your build. How thick your bed is, where your how big are your bed standoffs, how gapped your bed is, how thick is your PEI sheet, your flex plate are you running. But basically, you want the top of the pin to be at the same level as your bed surface, print surface itself. Plus or minus, you got a little bit of leeway. But basically, as long as your nozzle can touch the pin without hitting the bed, and when it's printing, the carriage or your tool head doesn't hit that nozzle, so it's not sticking up so high that your fan shrouds catch it, and not so low that your fan shrouds hit the bed before your probe can hit it, you should be okay. Now, you can get fancy and cut a little slot in there, and what that slot is for is it should line up with one of the grub screws. So you can turn the grub screw semi-tight. So you don't want to tighten it because the pin needs to be able to move and click. But now when you flip it upside down, the pin doesn't fall out. So if you're servicing the machine and turn it upside down, you shouldn't have to worry about it going on an adventure. So that is done and assembled. We'll put that over there. And now we are building our bed frame. So I've got 2 extrusions left. And should have, there we go. How's the ERCFA doing? Oh, good. I printed a bender the other day. So I'm hoping I should be able to do a video on it soon. I think I've done enough fiddling with it and tweaking it and kind of getting to know enough about it to make a video on it. But it's definitely not as... It's definitely not a complete newbie-friendly thing. You got to be able to sit there and troubleshoot if you run into problems and kind of figure stuff out. Because there's a lot of settings you may have to tweak, and it's not all dependent on the ERCFA. It depends on your printer too, so... Okay, so it says 175 millimeters, but obviously I can't do that because I'm building a 350. So it's just centered. We got inches. Who uses inches? Yeah, I could dig it. Centered. I just found the stream. Hello, welcome. Where this kit was sent to me from fysetc. There is a whole bunch of Voron kit manufacturers now. This kit right here is a fysetc kit. Other manufacturers are LDO. LDO kit is the only one I've fully built yet, and I'm comfortable recommending. I built a V0. They do have V2 kits coming out in the future and Switchwire. This is a fysetc kit. So far, the components have been okay. It's not as premium of a kit as an LDO, but the price reflects that. It's cheaper than an LDO. And then there's Formbot, which I reviewed. I looked at one kit a while ago. Their AliExpress kits are more bomb in a box, where it's a bill of materials. They throw them in a box, they ship it to you. Whereas an LDO kit is a more feature-rich kit, which is more akin to, say, a Prusa build, where you're pretty much just putting everything together. All the menial work like crimping and whatnot is already done. So, 250 millimeter Z height is not enough for helmet printing. Please make a 300 Trident version. I've got 380 on that machine there. So. Yeah, but yeah, all the differences is the lead screws. That's the problem with the Trident, is because it uses integrated lead screws, they're only available in certain sizes. So you have to build based off the size of your lead screws. Now, you could do couplers, but you're going to lose Z because these travel all the way down. So you're going to lose Z with couplers, so you got to build even bigger to get the same amount of Z with a coupler. Couplers can wobble too. I'm not a huge fan of couplers. Okay. So we need some M5 nuts. So 2 M5s. Okay, so what do we got? And an M3. The 2 M5s and an M3. And then the hole goes out toward the end. Do they sell a kit with... I don't know, and I don't follow along with like their store pages. So if they just had one come out, then that's, you know, news to me. Okay, And then we got 2 M3s on that side, it looks like. Now, these are post-installed nuts. You can put these in after. I'm just putting them in now because that's what the manual says. But in reality, it's not that big of a deal. I'll put them in at any time. And the ones that come with the kit are the ones that actually slide in very nicely. So I know with certain combinations of extrusions and these AliExpress ball detent post-load nuts, some of them kind of don't work the greatest, but these ones are working pretty good. So kudos there. Okay, so now we need to put in our bearings. So let's cut that out. Find my spherical bearings. So these are basically our DIY fancy. The affiliate link you have in the description is significantly more than a 2.4. I don't control their pricing. Trident is newer. I don't know what sourcing components is because it's newer. Maybe they can get, you know, cheaper prices on V2s because there's more people buying them. I don't really know the whole situation there. Let's get these pushed in all the way. Go. I used to have a nice mallet for this, and I don't know where it went. This one doesn't want to go in. There we go. Get in your hole. Now, whenever you got to seat a bearing in a plastic part, make sure you seat it so that it's flush. Like, you got to make sure that it's, you know, not all cocked and whatnot. Otherwise, you're going to have a bad time. One of my personal opinions, the 01 Trident 2.4. Trident 2.4, honestly, just pick whatever one you think is the prettiest. Functionally, they are both pretty much the same. The only difference is the Z. But when it comes to the V01, the V01's a tiny printer. It's this little guy right here. It's tiny. So if you want a tiny printer, yeah. But if you're only looking for like one printer, a V0 is not a great one printer because it's small. I started on a Monoprice Select Mini. My very first printer was a Monoprice Select Mini, 120 millimeters cubed. I got that in mid-December, and by January, or by the Christmas break, I was looking for larger printers to build. That's how I got into Voron. Okay, so we put our thrust bearing, or our GE5C bearing in, and then we're putting some M3s in, and these are just to hold it. And they're just screwed into plastic, so don't over tighten them. And these are just kind of to hold them in place and so you don't lose your bearing. What other printers am I building this year? Hopefully a Micron. I have a V0 on the ground over there, which will be the second time I've built a V01, but that one's going to be given away. And then something not Voron. I was tempted to drop some money on a V Minion kit until once you factor in exchange and shipping and everything, it's like 800 Canadian. So if I do a V Minion, I'm probably going to self-source it because I already have most of the components for it, honestly. There really isn't much to that printer. Because I think I have like enough of the... I have a switch wire frame in my closet here. So I might just, you know, cut down that frame for the 3060s that I need. And I've got a drawer full of motors and a whole bunch of screws. So I might self-source a V Minion. We'll see. Rat rig? Yeah, rat rig. I don't want to build a V core because honestly, I have enough large Core XY printers. So I'm not building it. I would never, I don't want to build a V core. But I like little printers. I like little printers. I think the 180 millimeter cube size is a great size. CNC. I would love to do a CNC, but I don't have the time. For those that have been, fans of the channel for a while, you would know last year I started designing. Oh, there we go. LDO Jason, 25. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, Nero, for the great stream. Just my 2 cents to support your new stream stuff. Thank you. See, if you donate, you get the little sparks. You get to watch me electrocute myself. But I was designing a CNC for a little while there, and then that got put on hold because, like, I just don't have the time, unfortunately. There's too much going on at the time. What's with the Micron? Avro, yeah, Project Avro ended up just like the Avro. That's why I called it that. I had a feeling it would end up like that. Annex printer? Nope, I will never build an Annex printer ever. Simple as that. Good morning from Australia. Good afternoon from Canada. Almost 5 o'clock. CNC conversion, Grizzly Mill is waiting on a show. I would love, that was what I wanted to do. Originally, my plan for a home CNC was a Grizzly, like one of those small CNCs. Yeah. Well, I've already got one stripped screw. That's great. Be very careful with small button head screws. They like to strip very easily. But yeah, I would, I was looking to get a Grizzly and convert to CNC. The problem is they're actually not that common in Canada. So I'd have to get one of the not Grizzlies, and shipping kills it like most things up here in Canada. They don't need to be tight, just touching. Oh, I know. It stopped about 2 or 3 threads short, Steve. The hex bit strip. Thoughts on Hevort? Probably okay. It's a modern Core XY printer. I don't have one. I don't know anyone that personally has one, so I can't really make an opinion on it. It's a WoW stick. Yeah, it's a WoW stick. I have an ES. I use the WoW stick. I keep 2 of them here. I got a WoW stick, and then I got an ES126. WoW sticks here. Oh, there's these. This is what I normally use. I normally use the ES126. It's got much more torque, and I keep the bit in here for an M3 socket head. On this guy here, I keep the bit in for a, what is it, a 2mm bit, so it's for M3 button head and the smaller M2 screws, because it's got less torque. So let's see if I can get this one screw in that decided to not go in. Or is it stripped? It's stripped. So let me do the totally not butcher way and screw it in by hand. Because, yeah. Ow. I'm a machinist. Almost there. There we go. It's down. Okay. VZBot, maybe it's the thing is, I don't want to do just another Core XY. There's a lot of Core XYs out there. I figured I've done enough on Core XYs. Like all the Voron stuff is Core XY except for Switchwire, really. I don't know. I want to try something different than a traditional Core XY. Okay, so now we're gonna mount these guys, and they mount outwards. So Easy peasy. Easy bot minion. That'd be cool. I like little printers. Little printers are fun. They don't take up a lot of room, and I'm running out of room. What do we got? M10s. Build a polar printer. I like my printers to be practical, somewhat. What would it take for me to convert a Grizzly? Time and money. And an actual Grizzly. Self-source Prusa Mini. I do a V Minion over a Prusa Mini. Oh, nope, I did this backwards. What's the DigiKey circuit board? It's a scale. Well, ruler. Got a bunch of conversions on it, inch and millimeter. Six-axis Scara. I don't think I'm going to be getting into six-axis anytime soon. That might be something we may not be touching. Ooh, Peter, thank you for becoming a member. So yeah, so it's not working right. I want it. I gotta fix it. I gotta figure out what's going on with stream elements, because it should say down here, you know, you can't see it because I gotta put a box on it. I gotta put a colored background on those names. I want it to say newest member, not sub. Let's say sub. Oh yeah, and also for the person that was saying the Trident in the description, that I have linked, this kit is more than a V2. This is also a 350. You gotta remember that. This is a 350. So. Okay, so we got the front one on. We got all the side ones on. Now we need to put it in, and it looks like it is on an M516 with a nut. So this is how we do our fancy kinematic bed mount without having to use custom components. Bilbo DD, thank you for coming a member. This is one of the reasons it took so long, because people were like, when are you going to bring this to the V2 or the V1, the kinematic bed mount? And I got to get Steve on here. Steve, I need to get you on this at one point. Well, maybe when this build's done, I'll get you on here. We'll talk about what went into designing this and what you ran into and whatnot. Because this was one of the sticking points, was how do you design a kinematic bed mount that doesn't use any custom components and printed parts and off-the-shelf parts only. Let's do it. Okay, that works. Yeah, we'll get this build done and then I'll get you on the show. On paper, V2 is more expensive. It has more parts. It is more expensive. So now you may find you may have to adjust some parts here just to make sure everything lines up. But what I'm going to actually do is, because trigonometry, as it gets out of square, distances change, I'm going to move all these to the same spot. So just to make it a little bit more equaler. There we go. How does that line up now? That's closer. You know what? I'm gonna crack all these loose, let them find their home, and then tighten them up again. There we go. So for those curious on how it works, how the kinematic bed mount works, this is it basically right here. So see right here, we have our spherical bearing. Oh, escape. And it's sitting on a printed ball joint, basically. So it's not metal on metal. It's a printed part. This is printed right here. But you basically have a spherical ball joint made out of printed parts and an off-the-shelf component. So it works just fine. It not being metal really isn't an issue, but that is how it be. Would I consider using a spirit level? What's a spirit level? I know what a level is. The problem is, is the bench level? No. It doesn't use anti-backlash nuts. No, we're using the power of the earth because gravity. Gravity keeps it from, you don't need anti-backlash on set because gravity is constantly pulling the bed down. Here's your preload. Also, it would bind up more, apparently. So yeah, so for those wondering, yes, you do have all kinds of fun play. So you can do the thing where you make your gantry all super unracked and make it all discombobulated, and then you run your program to square it up, and see, you got plenty of play here. See, voila. So you can do the whole thing for the for all the likes to show off the cool tramming of a kinematic bed mount, but it's printed, no custom components. Yay. Okay, so we have that mounted. Loosen and retighten. Slightly loosen the screw that holds the bed frame to the printed parts and gently shake the bed frame and retighten them. I could do that. Right now, we're just kind of making sure that, you know, everything's kind of in its home and nothing's bound up. Loosen all those up. Hey, Steve, how tight should these screws be? The ones that go through the spherical bearing. Like, should I be tight, or just kind of finger tight? No more snug than anything else. Like, okay, I can do that. These back up. Without an anti-backlash nut, there's no printing upside down. You would need to adjust your Z offset because your bed would probably move up ever so slightly if it was upside down, but you could. You just might have to adjust that first layer. So we got M4 thumb screws. So we're putting the bed on. So what I'm not doing is putting the bed on. Actually, I am putting the bed on just for appearances right now to make sure everything fits. But what I'm going to personally recommend is when building one of these printers, don't actually put the bed on until the very end. And I'm talking like after even your wiring is done, because the bed is heavy, especially on the 350s. So when you're flipping your printer around and whatnot, doing all your wiring, you don't want it to be as heavy as possible. You want it to be light. So don't put your bed in when you're doing, or don't put your bed until the very end. It just makes your life a little bit easier. And then you put your bed on, and it's M316. So I'm just going to put the bed on just so we can see it, because I don't think I'm going to be flipping this anytime soon. We will put the bed on just for appearance sake. Stay. But it's going to come back off anyways. Ugh. And then we got M316s, right? M312s. Where are the M316s? Oh, they're there. Is this an 8mm bed? Yes, it is. 8mm or 5/16. Is there ever Dunkel Aura? Yeah, there's been a few. According to YouTube, it is a sausage fest, but not 100%. So you're wondering what those M4 nuts are, knurled nuts are for? They are for your bed standoffs. Simple as that. There we go. Nope, that isn't lined up. Get in your hole. There we go. Okay. Slide you back. Now here's the thing, these are just fancy DIY standoffs, right? So if you want to get all fancy and get, you know, carbon fiber standoffs or fiberglass or was it Fenton something, that you're never having to worry about heat transfer because you're worried about that, go nuts. Go, you know, have fun with standoffs. I've seen people make titanium ones, even on Tallboy. You can't really see it, but my bed spacers here are actually pieces of fiberboard. So it's compressed fiberglass insulation that I cut pucks out of, and that's what my bed's sitting on. Because you want to thermally gap your bed, essentially. And there we go, so that fits. This will all move around. Peek. Yeah, you can go peek if you want. The M4 spacers are used, so the M3 screw fits right through with it being cleared. That's why. Polysulfon. Yeah, there's all kinds of materials. I've seen some people have made a bunch of stuff in the past. And now the printer is heavy. There we go. So we've got that on there, and now we have to put on our Z switch. And that guy goes back here. And you're going to be moving this because this guy is going to have to move depending on where you put this. This is dependent on your toolhead travel. Where this goes dictates where your bed goes. So when we get to that point, I'll go over that all. But basically, wherever this guy ends up is where your bed goes. So you need room for stuff to move. You prefer the deflange pulley end stop or the sex bolt? I'm lazy, so I just use the deflanged one. Like, all it is just to line the pin up anyway, so. Any ideas on isolation under the bed? I've covered a few. Basically, you just use something that is not good at heat transfer. So, the common cheap way is just stainless steel bed spacers, or knurled nuts. Help if I grab the right size Allen key. Say printer parts, thank you for becoming a member. Go. That's probably gonna shift back later, but good enough for now. That is a big bed. Holy crap. It's actually the first 350 I've built, so he's a big boy. Okay, so we got all that. Adjust end stop. You adjust your end stop based on where your max head is, or your max travel for your tool head. Okay, so now we're building the tool head. So heat set time and printed parts. Perfect. What do I need? What do I need? I need that part. I need that part. And I need that part. And before you ask, because I know people are going to ask, no, I am not putting a stealth burner in this yet. I will put a stealth burner in it after it is built, because right now I'm, testing out the kit. The kit comes with Afterburner stuff, so I'm building it stock, and then I will put a stealth burner. Plus, the version of stealth burner that everyone's building right now is already outdated, and I'm going to wait on the next revision. So, yeah. Where is my iron? Is it under here? No. Where did I put you? Is it over here? Nope. Somebody go watch last stream and tell me where I put my heat set iron. Where did I put it? Like, I have a backup. Oh, there we go. I dropped it on the ground. Stealth burner is outdated already. It's a beta, guys. Did you not expect it to not change? there's already been quite a few revisions to it internally. We're just collecting more data before that gets all pushed. It's a beta. Beta things, you change things in the beta. Right here is a Revo from the Revo beta. Guess what? There's changes. That's what a beta's for. It's to find problems and address them. And we put it in beta because we wanted to get a larger sample size. And we found plenty of things because people are building it with different fans and whatnot than we expected. So. Yeah, so for anyone that is doing mods, because we've already seen people mod it for like different Toolhead board support and whatnot. If you do, feel free to mod it. Have fun, do whatever you want. But be aware, you're modding an unfinished thing. So when it comes to, you know, oh, hey, I modded it for this random Toolhead board that a couple people are using, you know, Havad or whatever. Be careful with handing out the files because we don't want different revisions of the Toolhead floating around because it's just going to make up things complicated in the future when like something changes to the point where it's like completely incompatible or something. So just be aware, if you want to go ahead and mod it, you are modding an unfinished thing, and be prepared to update your mods. Some version numbers. I don't know if they're going to do that, but there will be like version numbers of the STLs, obviously. I'm not involved in the design of it, just so you guys are aware. I can't into CAD. Especially this kind of CAD where they're actually designing like parts completely. I can go into Fusion 360 and import some extrusions and slap them together and whatnot. But when it comes to actually sketching stuff up in CAD, that is not something that I would consider myself good at. Well, that heat set's gone. Your subscribe on screen isn't showing notification. Let me see. Who was it? Yeah, it should be showing. I want it to show members, but for some reason it's showing anyone like subscribers. I just set up Stream Elements today. I switched from Streamlabs, so I got to put a little background on it because you can't read it. It's. Fortunately, my desk is the same color as the text almost, so I got to put a little background around it. That's okay. Would it be a Nero 3D stream if something wasn't completely scuffed at one point? So many people haven't pressed the engagement buttons. Yes, press the engagement buttons. Receive dopamine. Do the thing. I could set up the bot. Apparently there's a bot that reminds you guys to do that in Stream Elements. The night, is it Nightbot? As everyone calls it, Nightbot or something. Okay, I got a random M3. I don't know where that goes. So I'm just gonna put that there. Okay. Oh man, I forgot a heat set. More heat sets. I need to get plugs on here. Am I able to no, I screwed up and I hit delete. And then I can't unpin it because I deleted it. So watch, let me try this. Replace pin message. Okay. So it says hi. Unpin message. Oh, there we go. Okay. I had to do the write on it with erasable marker to erase permanent marker thing. So I deleted it, and then it wouldn't let me delete an unpin or unpin a deleted message. There we go. I will say, it's been a while since I've built an Afterburner. Opinion on YouTube removing the dislike count. Stupid. Really stupid. Remember that video that I made a rant on last month? The PSA? About the buddy who had a tutorial on, you know, aerosolizing UV resin. Uncured UV resin. That video is a prime example. Because I could put out a video that had that looked really good but was unsafe, for example, okay? And then all I have to do now is just delete any comments that call it out. And, you know, little Timmy, who's 16, who just got into 3D printing, comes across that video, and there's nothing to warn him that that video is not safe. There's nothing. Because now there's no way to tell it's unsafe. Because there's no, I can delete comments on my videos. I can delete comments, so nobody will see the comments that call it out. And there's no mass amount of dislikes. So yeah, I think it's really dumb that they did that. Now, why did they do that? I don't know. Is it because advertisers, you know, whenever Pepsi puts out a video that everyone shits on and gets mass downloaded or mass disliked, they don't want that anymore? Or is it just, you know, everything in social media is moving away from negative engagement because negative engagement is bad? So either positive or no engagement. Is what it is. Let's be honest. All social media is cancer. Well, that's right. I'm putting a... where did I put it? Where did I put it? Aha. I forgot. I'm putting a Raptor in this. So I'm going to have some black parts because they're for the Raptor. Yeah, I have the add-on that kind of guesstimates it. It's not perfect, but it's, you know. Because you can go through and go, okay, based on this type of video, this many views, and the percentage of likes, you can kind of estimate how many dislikes there should be. It's entirely possible, but yeah. Yes, Sanity, I'm putting a Raptor in here. Somebody sent it to me. I don't know who. I don't know. Is what it is. What would I recommend? So I've got to rebuild V00. I got to do some updates to that because I'm going to be doing some work on it later when something shows up. I'm going to keep V00 lead screw or belted, and V01 is lead screw. Honestly, I'd say lead screw. Belted Z on something that small is kind of eh. The only reason I did lead screw mod on, or the belted one, was just to showcase a community mod. That was kind of cool. And also, because my lead screw wobbled on that. Because I was running like the original revision of how we did the lead screw, and it wasn't the greatest. So I changed it to a mod. I'm this 10 Canadian. Thank you, appreciate it. Just want to wish you Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Content is awesome as always. Thank you for everything. Cheers. I'm really hoping this year, stuff has changed with, you know, me and my wife's work schedule and whatnot. So I'm really hoping this year to be able to do, like, really do more content on the channel, like standalone videos. I got 2 days a week free basically now. So yes, for those curious, this is a Raptor. Yes, it does exist. I want to give a shout out to the Czech Republic folks on the Voron Discord. They hooked me up with this guy. And a bunch of candy that I haven't eaten yet. But Focus. That is a Raptor hotend. Even got a custom Voron silicone sock for it. Yeah. We will be putting that in here. There, Raptor up close. I know, this camera sucks. Lighting. There you go. And honestly, the upper part looks like a V6. And then it's got whatever this. This isn't the super high temp variant of it, I guess. Which I just had, which I probably put down and lost. There we go. Ooh, Sodak, $10. Thank you, appreciate it. Your ABS for dummies video just saved me a headache. My ABS was warping terribly, and turns out the Hemera cooling duct was directing some of the hot end fare down. Yep, that'll do it. That is actually a surprisingly common problem. Tomas, I like what you hold in your hands. Thank you. This is gonna be fun to play with, I will say. Yeah. I need the files though, because the mount that I appreciate you guys sent me a mount. The mount's black. It doesn't match the rest of the printer. Yeah, it's older than the Revo. It's circular heaters aren't a new thing. They've been around for a bit. The Revo is a bit different because, you know, it's got the whole. This is really awesome because you never have to worry about ooze issues. Ever. But yeah, they are different. It's like saying, you know, my Ford Focus copied a Toyota Corolla because they both use 4 tires, type thing. There is enough difference there. Okay, I'm not going to worry about the PTFE yet, because we're just kind of putting this together right now. So. Oh, the QR code for the mounts and sock. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it is on there. I didn't check all those QR codes. That's why. So, yeah, I got to print some then. So we'll just put it in temporary for now. And I'll swap it out later. Yeah, 165. Yeah, it's, from what I understand, it's aimed more at, like, commercial, like not the consumer market. That's why. Why would you have more free time this summer? My wife's schedule with work is back to what it was pre-COVID, so there's actually we have more time. Like she's not working the amount of she's working the same amount of hours, but it's over different days. So the little guy's in daycare for longer on certain days of the week, which means. Because the biggest problem I had with making videos over the past year, for the most part, was that it was just me and my wife worked different shifts. It was just me and the little guy all morning. So I'd wake up and it's me with a 3-year-old all morning, just me and him. And then I drop him off. I have like an hour and then I go to daycare. Or I drop him off at daycare. I have an hour, then I go to work. So it's kind of hard to, you know, make videos when it's like, okay, I have an hour, I have to cook, or I have to cut the grass, or I got to do whatever. But now it's a little bit easier because she's back on her normal shifts that were pre-COVID, which means little guy will be in daycare for like 2 days a week for like a full day. So I'll have a day to do stuff. And I'm a big proponent of weekends or family time. So. I gotta bring that up. Making a mount out of STL suck. Oh, for Stealth Burner? Yeah. The CAD will be out for Stealth Burner eventually, don't worry. So M312s up top here. These ones, again, are just for indexing, so don't tighten these too much. These are just for indexing. But what are the advantages of the stealth burner? Somebody asked that. Better part cooling, much better part cooling. We fully went through, redid all the fluid sims for the flow, so the ducts are all re-optimized and everything. So should prevent melty ducts more and give you much more flow. And then also, instead of a 40-20 fan, it's a 50-15 part fan. It works pretty dang good. So, and then also it's got LEDs. Oh, yeah, here. Is this the one? Yeah. So yeah, so here's the stealth burner and all the fun geometries in it. So it's much improved for part cooling, but then it's also, you got two LEDs that mount down here. So you got one here, and these face towards your nozzle. And then also in here you have a cutout where you can put an LED behind the logo, and you can address them all, and they're RGBW, and you can make them do all fancy stuff and whatnot. Yeah. I gotta wire up the LEDs in one of these still. What plastic? Resin. That is fysetc smoky black ABS-like resin. I'm trying out a cowling in here right now that is resin, just to see if it does hold up, because don't do anything structural out of resin, please. I've never seen a Voron actually function for more than a couple weeks with resin parts. I've seen carriages get split apart and like shatter. It cracks. Resin cracks. It just does not work. We've yet to see one actually last. So please don't do functional parts out of resin. Now, the front fan shroud, there's really no force on it. You might be okay, but your money may vary. Make sure you have a printed backup. How do I thread the inserts? There are no inserts on the front face. There's no inserts on this part. This is the only part I printed in resin. The rest is all ABS. So there's no inserts in this part. Okay, so motor orientation, blah, 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 blah. So now we are building the Afterburner. Get the motor. So the motor for this guy, it comes with the wiring attached. There is no connector, but it's FEP wiring. So a little bit good, a little bit bad. So it's FEP wire. It does say FEP on it. So it can go into the drag chain, but there's no connector. I'm gonna rectify that. I'm gonna put a connector there. Not right now, but I will. Nope, that's not it. Because let's be honest, it's a pain in the butt working on stuff when you don't have quick connects for the wires. Any thoughts on Voron 1 and Voron 2 have electronic? That partly one of the reasons Toasty Boy is going to stay a V1.8 and not get upgraded to a Trident. I like the backpack. This doesn't have a backpack. But you can't really have a backpack because you have, you know, a lead screw now in the way. Dental resins are pretty strong. It's not so much the strength, it's the heat. It's the heat. The heat cycling eventually gets to it, and the constant stress in certain directions get to it. It's just one of those things. And yes, dental resins are expensive as all hell. So, the Bondtech gears. Let's see how good these Bondtech gears are. Could do a half backpack on the right side. You could. You could. Remember, these are all DIY printers. You can build them however you like. You don't have to build it to spec. So I need 3.2 millimeters of spacing. I'm not going to be able to measure that. Where's my scale? Where's my scale? How are you supposed to measure that? I don't think you can measure that practically. Okay, so that's 2 millimeters, so I need 1 millimeter of clearance right there. That'll do. I can dig it. Good enough. Duff, member for 11 months. This is a thing. Yes, it is a thing. Orientation. Rotate the motor in such a way that the connector wires are on the left side. Okay, I can do that. So that'll be covered with the cable cover later. Okay. Scroll down. We got an M38. And the motor position is adjustable to allow for proper meshing of the gears. Start in the position in the slot. Okie dokie. Go. Play there, just we need to adjust. Okay. BMG drive gear. So for those that don't know, your dual bond deck gears, your BMG gears, one of them has a set screw or a grub screw, one does not. The one that has one goes on your drive gear because it is your drive gear. Okay. And then MR85 bearings. MR85 bearings. I gotta find some MR85 bearings. Oh, there they are. Do Trident serials carry? Yes. So technically, we don't use the name because the Trident was originally V1.9, but names are confusing, and if the newest Voron is a V1.9 when there's a V2.4, it confused the heck of a lot of people. So to make things simple, the printers going forward will have names. So instead of 1.9, it's now called Trident because it's got 3 said. And I think the little guy's at the door. You want to say goodnight? You going to bed?
No. Well, no.
Oh, it's only 5:30? Oh yeah. Okay. Gonna say hello?
Hello.
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 What's Daddy building? What's this?
Well,
Yeah, it's a hotend.
what is
Hotend. It's a Raptor.
soccer?
No, Raptor. Close enough.
Soccer.
Raptor. Yeah, there you go. Got your R's. Here. Can you say NEMA 17?
Daddy.
NEMA 17.
Daddy.
Close enough.
No.
You say BMG gear?
Baby.
Can you say aluminum bed? Aluminum. Aluminum. Okay. You behaving for mama? Okay. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
There you go.
Oh, Dada.
Bye, Calvin. Oh, love you too. Oh, yeah, be careful with that. There's don't want him in that one. Little visitors are always good. Okay, bearing fit. Bearings must slip on the shaft. Pressing the bearings on the shaft will damage them. So if the bearings don't, if the little bearings that go on the ends of these don't go on, sand the shaft and then put them on. Don't force them on or you're gonna have a bad time. That kind of fits in there. Yep, little guy. It's like 4 in March. Oof. You're old. This sucks. Okay, check for clearance. Clearance. That all fits in there. Drive shaft should not touch the motor. We're good. Go. Check for. Make sure everything mesh is good. We're good there. Get that up. Aluminum or aluminium? Both. Somebody once told me that technically both are correct because the guy who wrote the paper on aluminum spelt it as both aluminum and aluminium in the research paper on his discovery of aluminum. So technically both are correct. Somebody told me that. It has a circular ceramic heater. It's not exactly the same as a Revo, but they're kind of the same. It's the Revo one's a little bit more custom, a little bit different design, but it's a circular ceramic, which circular ceramics have been around for a while. But the way the Revo is and the way they manufacture it is different. They've got a new process for it. Okay, so M330s. Ooh, M330. Very cool. Remember for 8 months. Jeez. Long numbers. In your opinion, what is the level of difficulty for each Voron and which would you build first? In terms of, none of them are really complicated. The V2 has an outdated manual that is currently being revised. So I'm going to base it off of a good manual, the newer manual that's currently in the works. None of them are really complicated. There are certain ones like the V0, because of its small size and the fact that you have to build it in the order the manual tells you or you're going to have a bad time. The V0 is probably the trickiest to build. The switch wire is probably the easiest. It's got the least amount of parts and it's very simple build. It's like your Y motion is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 printed parts. Your XY joints are 2 parts. Your idlers are 2 parts. Like it's a very simple build. The V1 and the Trident, or correction, the Trident and the V2, this part here is the same. The gantries are exactly the same. Zed's a little bit more complicated because you got to build gearboxes on the V2. Zed's a little simpler on this, but you got 3-point. Legacy is, I've never built a Legacy, but none of them are complicated. They're just tricky in certain aspects. So we have that. Just ordered a Revo. I haven't done a review on the Revo yet. I've spoken about the beta, but I haven't done a review on it, which my Revo review, when I sit down and do a video on the Revo, I'm not going to show any printed, well, I'm going to show printed parts, but I'm not doing any printed part comparison because everyone else is doing that. And let's be honest, my printer is different from your printer. My slicer is different from your slicer. Anyone can take any good hot end and make good prints out of it if they take the time to tune it right. So I'm not going to be talking about print quality with the Revo. It prints just as good as every other good hot end. A little bit less stringing, and it's really good on Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder because the bulbs are so clean. But in terms of like, I'm going to be talking about the other aspects of it that I like. Okay, so we put that in, check drive gear play. It should move freely, which it does. Okay. Now we got to put our this guy in here. You go in there. Build our idler. A little bit of lubricant. I just received a 2.2 frame from a buddy. Should I build it as a 2.2 and then upgrade to 2.4? If you have another printer that is able to print the parts and everything and you haven't done the build at all yet, personally, I would say go to 2.4. And if you're going to 2.4, do a 2.4 build, but build it using the gantry from the Trident. So get an MGN 12 rail for your X carriage or your X gantry, and then print off the XY joints from the and the carriage stuff from the Trident, because that will be part of 2.4 R2. So if you're going to build a 2.4 right now, build it with the Trident gantry. Okay, so for the idler, they have pin bearings in it. You want to grease them up a bit, and try not to get grease on the actual like teeth of your feed path of where the filament goes. I just use a little bit of PTFE grease, nothing fancy. 2.4 will need a new back gantry beam. Yes, it is. I think it's longer. I'm not 100% certain. Yeah, I think it's longer. And then because I get asked about it all the time, should I convert my 2.4 to a Trident? Don't bother. Idler. So we put that little doohickey in. We've got our idler there. Goes in like that. Got our top part. Goes in like that. Oh, 1 second here. Let me clean that out. Got a little bit of there we go. You go there. Go there. You go there. So we got an M330 on the bottom and then an M320 on the top. I'm gonna have to drill that out, I think. Yeah, that is like the one part that I never get to print right. That M3. Am I sponsored by G Fuel? No. Easy way to tell if somebody's sponsored by G Fuel, they actually have stacks of G Fuel in the background or G Fuel fridge. So if you see that in the background, then they're sponsored. The fact that I have a G Fuel cup doesn't mean I'm sponsored. Although if somebody from G Fuel is watching, I will totally throw a G Fuel fridge in the background if you want to pay me. Where is my M? I know I put it somewhere. Oh, wait, no, I gotta... where is it? Dragon Heat Break is surgical stainless steel. Yeah, they all use stainless steel too, because it's an off-the-shelf item that's relatively easy to get a hold of. Build a printer in the G Fuel fridge. Well, I'm only doing that if they sponsor me, and I don't think my audience overlaps a lot with the typical G Fuel sponsor. There we go. And we got, what is it? It's an M320 up top, which is, that's M316. M320. Did the chat and stream stop to update? I don't think so. It looks okay. Do I speak Spanish? Sí. Okay, I'm out of Spanish. No, I cannot speak Spanish. I can do a bit of French. That's about it. Nope. That opens up like that. And that locks it in place. Okay. Then we need our spring and our thumb screw. These are the chonky thumb screw. These are the big thumb screw, the big chunky one, which I really don't like that much, but it's not even centered. It's soldered on it. It's not even cut straight. It's oblong. Let's see. One side is what, about 3 millimeter thick, and the other side is 5. It's obtuse. Okay, remove some screws. So, hey, the scary thing that people don't like to do, we're taking screws out of the back of our stepper motor. I think it's set to top. There's top chat and live chat. Yeah, for some reason, yeah, you gotta, there's top chat and live chat. Would be a good audience for a whiskey sponsor. I could go for a whiskey sponsor. I'm down for that. I've got no problem. I'm always paranoid taking these screws out of the back of a stepper motor because they're always like in there really tight and you don't want to strip them because they're usually not the greatest screws. Okay. Then we take our printed thingamabobber, put that there, and then what holds it on? M320s. Need live chat if I want to see them all. Yeah, I had it set to top chat. Normally I forget to switch it over all the time. Go. So now we got the here's your Clockwork. So for those curious, the naming conventions, because it always confuses people. Afterburner is kind of like the tool holder and cooling part of the tool head, and then Clockwork is the extruder. So this is Clockwork, and these are, you know, that's the Afterburner front. So Stealth Burner replaces the Afterburner part, but you could still use like a Clockwork or an LGX or an existing. So there is a Clockwork 2 though in the works. That's part of the beta. I think that's fixed. So there we go. There we go. Okay. So we have that little part there. Now we do have this fancy cable cover part that I guess I could put on right now, which I'm going to put on right now because why not? But it's going to come right back off. So we're just going to put it on for fitment purposes. Make sure everything sits good. And there's your cable cover. Nothing fancy. And then that sits on top. Like so. Huh. I might have a problem here. There we go. There we go. Freaking cable from the probe is a little in the way. There we go. Get in your home. The orbiter, yeah, I have a video on my channel about the orbiter. I had the orbiter installed in Tallboy for a bit. It's not installed in there right now, but I do have an orbiter. I have played with it. It's fine. Why did I take it out? I took it out for a reason. Something was skipping with it. I think I accidentally killed the motor on it, I believe. My bad. Yeah, I killed the motor on it. I screwed up something with the wiring, and I think I shorted it. But TLDR, it's a good extruder if you need something with a bit more grip than a traditional Afterburner, because it's got the larger Bondtech gears. Other than that, yeah. Or no, I didn't even play with the orbiter. It was a Galileo. Galileo is a repackaged orbiter. That's what it was that I had. So I do have an orbiter 1.5, but I guess there's a new version out now too. So Prusa Orange one. It's because it's Prusa Mint ASA. So you should be getting Prusa vibes from this because it is a Prusa. It is Prusa Orange. And why am I printing it in Prusa Orange? Because why not? It's actually really nice filament. I've been wanting to use Prusa Mint for a bit. Thank you, Thanity. Go. Yes, I know I didn't put the Bowden tube in. I know somebody's going to comment about that. We're just doing test fit right now because it's all going to come apart anyways. Okay, so we have those on, that on. Now I got to put the fans together. Let's put that over there and get my fans out. Which fan shroud do I like? That one. And where are my fans at? Nope. Nope. There's. What do I think about the material? Print's really good, nice and stiff. ASA is stiffer than ABS. The downside is though it is stiffer. It's more likely to prone and crack. Let's see what I did. Okay, FEP. So I don't know how good Kaizu fan is, but it's a sleeve bearing 24 volt fan. If it dies, it dies. But again, this is like another thing with the wiring with this build. Why I think the wiring is what my biggest complaint about this build so far. is, yes, there's actually enough wire here to run all the way to the tool head. And yes, this is actually FEP wire, or at least it's labeled FEP. The thing is, there's no connector, so we're gonna have to put a connector in there. So that is something we're gonna be doing down the line, is putting connectors everywhere, because I can't stand not having a connector at the tool head. And our 4020 fan is also a, those curious what brand it is that sleeve bearing brushless. I got a feeling it's gonna be a screamer. Take the front shroud off. Cut any tabs that are sticking up. Nice and smooth and flush. Then oh yeah, the wires go through the back. Spam alert. Where's the spam? Where's the spam? I don't see spam. I'm not seeing it. Oh, Voom dot. Hide user on this channel. Goodbye. There you go. Goodbye. Any mods here? I am a mod. Okay. M316s. And these are screwing into plastic, so be careful. The manual calls out everywhere where screws, or most of the places where screws are screwed into plastic, so you know not to go nuts with tightening them. Because the last thing you want to do is strip the threads. Now, pretty much everywhere where you're screwing into plastic is non-structural. So it's pretty much just kind of to hold like two pieces of plastic together that have no force on them. But still, you should be careful, because if you strip it, you got to reprint it. And then those go together like so. And then you can see here, these just snap together. And then you use a piece of filament to run them together. So let me get some proof cement. No, that's PLA. Don't want PLA. Actually, honestly, PLA is probably fine here. Troy J, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Go. Then your wiring goes up and out, and that sits in front with some M330s and M312s. Why are you catching? Oh, there you go. Trying to not pinch the wires. Normally I would just tape them, but there we go. 30. Didn't you get a metal pin? Oh yeah, I did get a metal pin for this. I'm not too concerned because the I'll put it in after. Let me just get this screwed in. And then what is it? M312s. Yeah, the kit had a metal pin. You know what? I might leave the black on here for the Raptor. I kind of like a little bit of a minor black accent there. Okay. So there's that. Where's this metal pin? I know I have one. It's in which box? Had it. What torque? It's an ES126. I don't know the exact torque number on it though. Yeah, metal pin. Let's. Yeah, metal. There we go. Metal pin's now in. Is it any better? Eh, well, the metal pin though. I got a longer metal pin. Oh yeah, that one's for the screen. Mini stealth burner when? I'll ask them Gria. That ain't my thing. Okay, more heat sets now. So now we got to put together this one. Yep, so let me plug that back in. Ugh. You know we're getting to the end because I'm running low on printed parts. That's a good thing. I have a favorite Voron. This one right here. It's my first V2. Speaking of black accent, I've used Sparta 3D's Obsidian Black Sparkle ABS Plus. That is the not black Sparkle ABS. In terms of the Obsidian Black, that's the black on the Enraged Rabbit Carefeeder. I've been using a lot of Sparta 3D ABS Plus. It's a good price here in Canada, and I really like the colors. So I've been using a lot of that stuff. What controller? This guy, since it came in with the kit, will be a Spider 2.2. Because that's what came with the kit. And I'm building this using everything that came in the kit. The only thing that I will be doing differently is wiring stuff. Because I'm not redoing it. Because the wires all come to length. There is enough wire here that I can run this directly to the end, but you want fittings. You want connectors at the tool head. Otherwise, you're going to hate life whenever you do any maintenance. So that is one thing that I'm going to knock against this kit is the wiring. Am I using some sort of fume extraction? No. All my printers that I print ABS on. So this one right here, this V2, that V2, and then the V1.8 down here are fully sealed up with gasket. Like they're all paneled up on all sides, and they have foam gasket. So I leave the printers closed while they're printing. I'm usually not in this room when it's printing either, and I don't open them while they're hot. So ABS fumes are like a resin. It's like a sticky, oily residue. That's the bad stuff that ABS off gases when you melt it, and it settles on like the inside panels. So it doesn't really get out of the room too much. Okay. We have this. We got some M38s and some hammerheads. Plus, I work in a tool shop with injection mold plastic or injection molds, so I'm already kind of desensitized to the smell of ABS. Wonder if we bullied for printing PL. No, I've been printing nothing but my switch wire just prints PLA. That's all my switch wire does. Same with my V0 here, mostly prints PLA too. I do print ABS on it occasionally though. Usually when it's, oh crap, I forgot a part. Okay, so you go right here. So we have this little guy right here, which is 73 millimeters away. Okay. Then we have, where's that guy go? Cable cover, where does that guy go at? There's two? Okay, back corner there and back corner. Okay, so there's one on each side of the back corners, I guess. Did I not print those? I don't think I printed those. Yeah, I don't think I printed those. Unless they are in other box. Nope, I did not print those. Huh. Oh, they're probably with the skirts. That's why I haven't printed any of the skirt stuff yet. So I don't have those, I don't think. Yeah, I haven't printed those yet. I need to print those guys. Because those are just cable covers. Oh, I'm putting the deck in. And a bunch of twist locks, which I don't know if I printed those twist locks. Oh, I did. How many did I print? 4, 5. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So it looks like we're on to electrical next, because we're putting in DINs. So yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to end it there, because I got to print off some parts. Yeah, I'm going to have to print off some stuff, it looks like. Yeah, we're on to electrical. So you know what? I'm going to end it there, because I want to try and keep... I'm trying not to prevent, you know, half electrical be one stream and half on another. I don't want to start electrical now, because I know I won't be able to get too far into it, because it's only 6:11 here. So we'll stop the build there. So for anyone following along at home, the rest of the stream will just be chit chat. So we're gonna end this. We're gonna end the build portion of the stream there, I think. So we're gonna end it there. We're gonna end it there. Let me spin this around so you guys can take a look. See what we got. We got a printer, or somewhat of a printer. There we go. So yeah, so I got to print off some parts still, it looks like. No biggie. Have I heard about VZBot? Yeah, I've heard of VZBot. I'll pull them up here. Yeah, I've heard of them. Like, the thing is though, like, let's hold it up here. So VZBot, okay, it's cool. It's, you know, it's another. But the thing is, like, it's another Core XY printer. It's meant to go fast. I don't print fast. Like, I print fast, but not fast. So like, yeah, I wouldn't say it's redundant for me to build one, but it's. I felt I've done enough. Like, I don't know. I want to build non-Vorons, but I want to do other than Core XY. I think I've done enough Core XY by now. Considering the next build I'm doing is another Core XY V0. What do I like? I just like cool, I like simple little printers. I like simple little printers. And the thing is, like, it's only like, what, 3 pieces of 3060 and a 2020? Like, what do we need? What do we need? Let's pull it up here. VZ bot. Bot, minion, or not VZ bot, rat, rig, minion, bomb. So the V minion, documentation. Okay, where is the bill of materials? That's the guide. Favorite filament? I'm really liking the Sparta 3D ABS right now. Essentials kit, full kit. Shipping. Where is the bill of materials? A Fenrir. I've been following along with your updates. We'll see. Maybe. Yeah, it's all 30. It's 3 pieces of 30-30. So what are the lengths though? Where is the bill of materials? I'm not a huge fan of their site. vminion.ratrig.com. I'm on vminion.ratrig.com. Oh. vminion. Site can't be loaded. What's with these bots? Port spam. Bomb. There we go. Okay, so it is a. So it's 3 pieces of 3060. One's 345 millimeters long. So obviously I got enough there. So that's, yeah, that's like 400 or 520 millimeters. So yeah, so I can easily cut this down 115 and then 27. Yeah, so I can easily build the frame. Oh wait, no. Yeah, wait. It's a 30-30? Where's the 30-30 at? Minion. So we got 1, 2, 3. But we got a 30-30. And then a 2020, which 362. Check. I might have to get a single piece of 2020 because the longest piece of 2020 I have on hand. How much do I need? 362. Yeah, 330. Yeah, 335. The gantry is 2020. Okay, so it's the gantry that is the 2020. I can just print it. What's a 30-30 for though? There's one 30-30 that is 120 long. No, the 30-30 is not the gantry because the gantry is longer than 120. But yeah, like I can literally MGM 12. I'm gonna have to order. I'd have to order MGM 15. MGM 12. Stocks. I've got carriages. Ooh. How long of an MGM 12C? Oh, C. They use MGM 12C. I'd have to order rails. I'd have to order rails. The bed. Filament roller. Oh, it's for the filament roller. Okay. So yeah, I would have to order one extrusion. So I would need to order one 2020. I would need to order lead screws because I don't think I have. Oh, I do. Okay, I've got a lead screw. So I've got a lead screw. So order the rails. I wouldn't need the lead screw because I've got a lead screw. Is it TR4? But I don't even know what kind it is. I think it's TR88 or TR82. I don't know. I've got a lead screw. I've got couplers. I would need to order the rails. I've got tons of belts. The plates. It has plates joining plates. I would blind joint it. I would do blind joints and print those. Or just drill them myself, like they're plates. Bed. I would have to get the bed. I would just use, honestly, I'd use a Prusa mini bed. Prusa mini bed. That's 180, I believe. And then a whole bunch of screws. T-nuts, spacers, TR84, beaming and extra parts. Yeah, other than the printed parts, yeah, I could. Yeah, I might do that. I might build one of these. 9mm belt. Oh, is it 9mm belts on this thing? Why would you need 9mm belts on this thing? Yeah, 9mm belt. Oh, for the bed. Why would you need 9mm belt for the bed? A little overkill. So yeah, Prusa mini bed, an extrusion, some rails. I have all the motors and printed parts. Yeah. So yeah, this might be a spring build. We'll see. Wonder what a Core XZ Prusa mini bid be like. The problem is you can't. I think you can do Core XZ with a cantilever. It is possible. It's just not really practical. MGM 50. We use a MGM 12H carriage on the switch wire for the bed, and the fact that I have my Milwaukee drill sitting on the bed and it doesn't really move on a single cartridge or a single carriage is usually a good idea or a good indicator that it's probably fine. Introduction. So how is the bed held on? So yeah, so it looks like there's a carriage plate for the bed. Would that have to be custom? There's a full manual. So yeah, we might do that. That might be build guide. Let's see the bed. How is this all held together? Ah, I hate this. I hate the way of attaching belts. Not a huge fan. So the carriage. Let's see. So that's the front part. So that rides on there. You know what? I could easily, yeah, Prusa mini carriage and then just drill a bunch of holes in it. That might be possible. We'll see. We'll see. Theory craft time. Build a V0 IDEX. I seen that. Honestly, I think that's an IDEX that small is kind of. This is gonna be IDEXed, and honestly, Sanity, I'm actually kind of liking having the black for the mount there. So we're gonna stick with that, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I like that one little bit of black accent. Okay, so that's why I don't like Rat Rig Bunch custom stuff. Yeah, that's one of the, that's one of the things with the Voron team. That's our thing, is we don't do custom. Everything is like off the shelf. You don't need custom stuff for a Voron. But RatRig is a commercial company, so they can kind of do that because they can kind of do that. Here's what I was talking about last stream. Okay. See this? Why did you not extend this plastic piece up over here? So that way, if your belt is not on, the bed don't go flying off with your carriage. Why did you not have a stopper there? You have one here, you have one there, but not there. That I don't like that. That's just me being, yeah. Can I download the CAD? I don't think you, it's not open source. I don't think you can download the CAD files. Oh, no, here it is. I guess it is. Loading. Come on, I got a gigabit connection. It'd be quicker than this. I'm really liking how this build's coming along. I'm really liking these colors. I'm really liking these colors. And how's it gonna look once I put the bed on? Oh, you know what? Why are we looking at that bed? Where's the good stuff? Where's the good stuff? 300. The good stuff. There we go. Ugh. Actually, let me just double check. Okay, keep sent me one of those. Flex plate, flex, yeah. There we go. Ta-da! Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. Okay, it's loaded up. So let's look at the CAD here. How do I rotate? How do I rotate? Which one? Okay, right click is rotate. Everything is different in every CAD program. Okay. See, okay, that's where that 3030 is. It's literally just a spool holder. Yeah, I'm just gonna do a printed spool holder. Or you know what? Yeah, I got 3030. Oh wait, nope. It's just an angle. It's an angle thing. The carriage, it won't come off. That's good. So the carriage won't come off. That's good. Never mind. So these brackets export as STL. And then the EVA. The EVA. Everyone loves this hot end, or this carriage. A lot of people, I keep saying they want this on a Voron. It wouldn't really work though, because you got all this hanging off the back. And the way the belt's attached and everything, you'd have to do a lot of rework to get this to work on a Voron, and you're gonna lose Y. You're gonna lose a lot of Y. So. But yeah. Also not a fan of these style of ducts, but that's just me. You know what? We could probably build this. Let me log into AliExpress tonight, do a little bit of it's more balanced. It is, but is there that much weight that it's really an issue? Like, yes, the weight is more in the center of gravity, but you got to remember too, on a Voron, it's big, but a lot of the weight is like your stepper motor is over your rail. So what do you have out front? You got 2 fans and a hot end, and the hot ends move pretty far back. A lot of this is plastic. It doesn't weigh that much. So yeah, it's a bit of a chunky hot end, but that's because everything's vertical. Like it's fans. Like from there, this is all the weight. Mini AB could work. Problem is everything is based around the location of the hot end being here. If you put a mini AB on here, you're gonna have to shift everything, which honestly wouldn't be that bad. You just shift the gantry. You just shift this. Oop. You would just shift this, because on a mini AB, everything would be a little bit more forward, I believe. So, yeah. Looks like I'll be getting the business credit card out tonight. Oh, I know Chinese New Year is the thing. Oh, believe me, I know. Okay, so I'm gonna end the stream there, guys. For all those who hung out on the stream tonight, you're awesome. Anyone who donated or became a member of the channel, you help support the content I create, the things I do. If you want to see more stuff, consider helping out. I got links in the description. If you want to buy a fancy Revo, hey, there's an affiliate link with E3D in the bottom too, if you want to help me out that way. Doesn't cost you anything extra, so hey, why not? Close all that. So yep, so we're back to our regular time slot now going forward. So Saturday night we'll move into the electronics and start getting this guy wired up, and hopefully only a couple more streams. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. I don't know, for some of you the weekend's already over, so I don't know. I have tomorrow off work. I know a lot of people do because New Year's was on a Saturday. So take care out there, be safe, wash your hands. Cheers.